Excuse me. What are you doing out here, late at night, all by yourself? You must be so brave, seeing as it's so dangerous walking the roads at night. I knew I made the right choice. What about me? Well, it's not dangerous for me at all. Do you see that mountain I'm pointing at, far in the distance? Right under the moon? Watch this. Ooh, I blew the peak right off, see? There isn't much that could survive a blast like that. Especially not in this forest. Also, I can see in the dark, so nothing's gonna be sneaking up on us. Well, actually, my ambush countermeasures are a lot more complicated than just night vision. But I'll spare you the details. Oh, how did I become so powerful, you say? Oh, you flatter me. Well, the truth is, it's all thanks to you. Let me explain. So as you might have been able to tell, I'm a cleric. The holy symbols and flowing robes really give it away, I assume. And clerics, to oversimplify, there are so many caveats, you see, but basically, clerics get their powers through their devotion to their object of worship. Some clerics worship moon goddesses, others war gods, and they get their powers proportionally to their piety. In my case, however, I worship you. And since there's no case of devotion anywhere greater than mine, I'm the strongest cleric you will ever find. What? You don't believe me? I'm serious. I even worship the soil that you step on. I have a jar of dirt, you see. Do you truly think any other deity could inspire me so? Here, let me roll up my sleeve. Do you see how I carved your name into my skin? This was one of my first acts of dedication to you. Back when I was just a novice, still stuck casting petty cantrips. Oh, it's so nostalgic, but I quickly moved past that. In the past, I lived in the slums. Each day was a struggle for survival, whether looking through the trash for food or squatting in infested, abandoned houses for shelter from the rain. But then one day, I met you. I had begged you for food. You took me to the side and gave me your meal. I thought you were the most generous soul in the world at that moment. But then, it got better. After I'd finished eating, you gave me what I imagined must have been all the money on you, and some advice on how to make the most of it, no less. It was at that moment I knew there was no one to worship but you. When you told me your name, I instantly committed it to memory. I repeated it constantly to myself, overjoyed to have your name on my tongue. It was like a prayer, putting me in a trance-like state. And then, after I started doing that, I noticed changes. When I fondly recalled the taste of your gift, I found I could mend wounds. When I thought of the rage of being so far from you, I found I could inflict them. And when I remembered the warmth of your smile, a blanket of light enveloped me, protecting me as a sanctuary. Naturally, once I displayed such powers, making a living for myself became much easier. I became an adventurer and cleaned out nests of evil that should have taken entire squads to take out. Nowadays, there isn't a single mortal I truly fear, and the spoils from my little escapades quickly advanced my standard of living. I went from living in the slums to ruling them. That wasn't all just because of the money, though. But to sum it up, you saved me. You've given me everything. I owe everything to you. I know I can't ever truly repay you, but that won't stop me from trying. That little carving on my arm of your name, it's nice. But that's just little baby shit compared to what I can actually do for you. Remember how I told you I rule the slums? Well, that's because I started preaching about you. A single casting of create food and water, and the people really start to listen. And with my fervor, the spell's bounty's plentiful and delicious. Suffice to say, you have a very large base of followers now. They aren't quite as devoted as me. How could they be? But let's just say, if you told them to perform mass suicide, they would do it. Assuming they could verify who you are, anyway. I understand that you might not want to reveal yourself, but if you ever do, just tell me. And even if you don't want to show yourself, you can still give any orders through me. They recognize my authority, you see. I'm the only one who can interpret your will. That isn't, quite true, of course. I can't read your mind or anything to interpret your will. But I can interpret your interests. Which got me thinking we should build a temple to you. I mean, there is already a makeshift temple of some marble and silver for you. We call it One Truth Temple, for obvious reasons. But I mean we should make a real temple to you. One worthy of your magnificence. Greater than any palace, we could have skyscraping towers, gardens of rare plants, and we could even hire bards to sing about you in the halls. We could even have an altar where we make sacrifices to you. I've already made a few myself. At first, they were just goblins. This one goblin-obsessed man really thanked me for that. But by now, I've upgraded to sacrificing all manner of much more fearsome foes, especially the heretics. Oh, but where should we put your temple? Oh, it would be such a waste to build it only for it to be in the wrong spot. Now, I know maybe it might be more realistic to build it near our base of power, but I want you to hear out a little fantasy of mine. So what if we took all our followers and moved to a secluded little island? It would just be us, no one to meddle in our worship of you. It would be a utopia. I could feed us, and if anyone isn't devoted enough, they can just go without food. I'm getting tingles just thinking about it. Oh, you're shaking. What's wrong? Are you cold? It is pretty chilly out tonight. Tell you what, I'll summon us some shelter. And you just get some rest, okay? I'll still be here when you wake up. Because I'm never leaving you. There isn't much that could survive a blast like that. Hello? Oh my god! Why? My ambush countermeasures are a lot more complicated. Can you sit down? Hi! You're so cute. Stop it. The truth is, it's all thanks to you. Okay, baby. Stop it. Stop it. No more.